Okay, guys. OG time, first class of the session. You braved the snow. That was the hardest part until now. Welcome to upper body and core. You guys know the drill, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Everybody online, feel free to read the description and the link below or the thing below. I don't know. Feel free to take any modifications that you need or type in the chat. You can always ask me for a modification. I'll be able to give you one. If you're new to this class, there are a few built-in breaks that you can take. They're not very long, so if you do need a break throughout the class, definitely take that. It's completely normal to get a drink of water in the middle of a movement as well. So listen to your body and listen to what you need. Other than that, we're just going to go ahead and get started. We're on our back. We're going to be on the ground. Kind of a light warm-up today. Not too much. We do have a lot of core to get through, but it's going to be super fun. Core is the most important part of Pilates. That's what we use for our bracing. So go ahead and just roll on your back. Give your knees a nice hug. Stimulate the central nervous system. Go ahead and rock side to side if that feels good to you. And just wake up the body. Feel a nice stretch. Start your watch if you haven't already. And if you're still with me, go ahead and extend those legs out. We're going to bring that left knee all the way up to our chest and just give it a nice pull. Starting to feel a little bit more of a stretch through the hip. We're going to cactus out our left arm, and we're going to pull our left knee over to the right using our right hand, adding just a little bit of a twist through the back. Go ahead and pull until you feel a nice stretch through that hip if you can. And just hold it there until you feel that muscle release. We're going to come back to center. Go ahead and straighten out that left leg. Doing the same thing for the right side now. We're just going to grab that right leg. Pull it gently into the chest. A little bit of a deeper stretch through those hips. See if you can pull your knee a little bit closer to your chest. When you're ready, cactusing out that right arm. Pull that right knee over with the left hand. Deepening the stretch through your right glute, right hip, a little bit of a twist through the spine. More deep breath in. Let's come back to center. Extend out the legs, extend the arms overhead. Give me a really nice reach, being as long as you possibly can. Just an all over stretch here. Feel free to move in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And exhale, go ahead and bring those knees all the way up. We're going to start by making sure our lower back is fully pressed against the mat. We're going to tuck our tailbone up and underneath. Feet are going to be about shoulder hip width apart or hip width apart. We're going to lift those legs all the way into tabletop position. With core, we'll be splitting it left side and right side like we usually do, just so that we get more of an isolated effect in the abdominal region. We're going to start by putting the weight, whatever weight, if you do choose to use one, in your right hand. And we're going to extend that arm all the way long up to the ceiling. Palm's going to face to the left. And we're just going to start by doing a few slow crunches. Go ahead and lift each row of your abdominals. Roll up, bringing your chest to meet your hips. And lowering back down. Exhale, we're going to lift, roll each row of your abdominal, and lower back down. Just keeping up with those deep breaths. Really getting the engagement through your core here. Slow and in control. Today's all about mind to muscle connection. We're not speeding through anything. We really just want to make sure that we're getting the full effect of today's workout. Keeping that core stable, sweeping the arm all the way down to your hip if you can. Still tucking that tailbone. Adding on in 2 more. Really rolling those abdominals. Ribs are meeting your hips. Last one. This time as you lift up, you're going to add an extension through that left leg. Rebend, coming back into that reverse tabletop, and lowering all the way back down. Still slow and controlled, but trying to feel a little bit more activation through the left side here, keeping the core engaged. Step by step. Couple more. See if you can lift your chest a little bit higher. And a little bit more through this movement. As we lift, we're still going to add that extension through the left leg. But as we re-bend the left leg and lower, we're going to extend through the right. Lift, extend left, re-bend right leg. Lower, extend the right leg, re-bend the left. So we're just alternating which leg extends and which leg bends. Just make sure your right arm is matching with your left leg. Challenging that coordination a little bit. You've got it. If you need to break it down into a little bit more of a step-by-step basis, you can. Just keep breathing. Only a couple more. For 3. And 2. You're doing good. Last one. Let's hold in this crunch, and we're going to rainbow that weighted arm over that leg. So that left leg stays extended. We're just going to rainbow the weighted arm. You've got it. For 5 more. Slow and in control. 3, 2. Last one. Can you lift your chest a little higher? All right. Hold. That right arm's going to be on the outside of that right leg. We're still in that crunch position. Last little burner. Lift your left leg up and lower. Lift and lower. You're here for 8. 7. Take it as slow as you need. Do what feels good to you. Keep that core on. Still tucking the ribs to your hips. 3 more. 2. Last one. Go ahead and drop that weight for a second. Hug those knees. Feel free to rock side to side. This is going to be one of those short little built-in baby breaks that you have throughout the class. So if you need to get some water, go ahead and do so. And when you're ready, we're going to meet back in that position where our feet are about hip width apart or shoulder width apart. You're still only going to need one weight here. You can hold either end of the dumbbell or whatever type of weight you are using. And we're just going to roll all the way up. So it's very similar to a crunch. We're trying to have our hands meet our knees. Again, just reacquainting ourselves with that full abdominal activation. Trying to roll all the way onto the toes if you can. Minimal weight in those heels. You'll see why here in a sec. We'll build off this movement, but really just focusing on going as slow as you possibly can. remembering to tuck that tailbone. For 2 more. And last one, we're gonna add a little bit of a seesaw effect here. So we're gonna lift, legs go to reverse tabletop as we lift those arms, and then we're gonna lower those legs and lift up. So we're kind of rocking back and forth, but in a very slow and controlled way. That's why we're trying to keep minimal weight in those heels, just barely touching the mat with your toes. Almost done. You've got it. Couple more. For 3. See if you can go a little bit slower. 2. Last one, we're gonna add on. So go ahead and do your final roll back down. We're gonna extend those legs, rebend, and do that seesaw for me. Lowering back down, extend, rebend, seesaw. This should be all in your core. If you're feeling any pain at all in those hips, just make sure you're not dropping those legs as low. Try to keep them a little higher if you can. You're here for 3. 2. 2 more. You've got it. Last one. Go ahead and lower all the way down. We're just going to extend and rebend those legs. That core is engaged. You're taking those deep breaths. Make sure you're listening to your body here. If you need to take a break, if you need water at any point, feel free. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2 more before we add on. Last one. Option to add in a little arm raise above the head and rebend. You only have 6 of these. For 5. Core still braced. 3. No, that was 4. I can't count. Now we're at 3. Remember, ribs to hips, slow and in control. 2. Last one. We're going to extend those arms overhead and we're just going to hold. 15 seconds. You've got it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself a break. Go ahead and drop those legs to either side. Give yourself a nice stretch. Taking some nice breaths in before we get to the other side of what we just did for core. I promise it's not too terrible the second time, I think. Getting that water, whatever you need here. We're gonna place that weight when you're ready in our left hand. Heels are gonna be tucked close to our glutes, about shoulder width apart. Arms gonna be fully raised up, long arm here, a little micro bend through that elbow, and we're just gonna lift. Rolling each row of the abdominal. Try to see if you can feel how the opposite side is activating now, rather than how it felt the first time. Sometimes it helps if you just place your hand on your core. Just keep using those deep breaths, slow and in control. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Option to lift those legs up all the way in a reverse tabletop. before we add on to this movement. For 3 and 2. Last one. See if you can add in a little extension of the leg this time around. Step by step, lift, extend, rebend, lower. Engaging a little bit more of the right side here. Just keep breathing. 3 more. 2. Last one. Then we're going to get into that funky combo movement. So extending out that right leg, rebend, and extend through the left. And just switch it out here. Remember that our left arm will be matching up with our right leg. As our right leg lifts, our left leg will lower. You've got 5 more. Take it slow. Doesn't matter how many you get, just make sure you keep that activation, quality over quantity. For 2. Last one, we're going to keep that left leg bent and just rainbow that left arm over and back to the outside. Rainbow over to the inside and back to the outside. Keep that nice deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Core still engaged. Bring that arm back to the outside. We're going to lift through the right leg and lower. You're only here for 8. If you need to brace the back of your neck because your head's getting a little too heavy, that's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. See if you can drop a little bit lower. Rebend. Give those knees a nice hug. Core is over. You've made it through the hardest hump of today's class. Go ahead and do whatever stretch feels good for you here. Get a drink of water. And when you're ready, we're going to meet back up for the upper body portion of today. Now that your core is a little bit on fire. Celebration time. I really don't know if you want a little bit heavier weight here or if you want a little bit of a lighter weight here. User discretion is advised. Whatever you do on the left side, you do need to do on the right side. Most of it's pretty even for both arms though, so. And there's nothing saying that you can't change over to the lightweight halfway through. Completely okay. We're going to start in that kneeling position here. Go ahead and grab whatever weight feels good to you. Palms are going to rotate all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to tuck those elbows tight into our sides. They call these serving platters, so we're just going to lift. Core is going to be braced. And we're going to tuck those elbows tight back to the sides again. So press up. A little bit of a micro bend through those elbows. You don't want to extend them all the way. Just keeping that breath here. 4 more. Trying to squeeze the back. Make sure that core is braced. I know you're feeling your core from the beginning of class today. 3, 2. Last one. We're gonna add a little hip raise. If you are comfortable with that, you're gonna lift all the way up, squeeze the glutes, tuck the pelvic floor up and in, lower back down. Squeeze, lift up, exhale, inhale, lower. Slow and in control, feeling all of the muscles all of the time. Couple more. 4, 3, 2 more before we switch into that next section. Last one. We're gonna hold at the top. Give me one champagne pour, and then we're gonna do an overhead lift. Lowering back down, champagne pour, and overhead lift. Trying to feel evenness through the left and the right side of your arm. Keeping that breath. Couple more. Really engaging through those shoulders. Still making sure you have that slight bend through the elbow. 2 more. Last one. We're gonna end and we're just gonna do some champagne pours. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. This is gonna be a burner. If you need to drop the weights at all, feel free. All we're gonna do is little circles forward. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Backward. A little bit more of a burn. You've got it. 3, 2, 1, and lowering back down. Go ahead and shake out those shoulders. Have a nice stretch. Whatever feels good to you here. All right. Heading to the next part of arms here. We're gonna hit those biceps because I know everybody wants to have some huge guns this summer. I know I do. Feel free to grab whatever weight you would like. All we're gonna do is a little hammer curl up and lower back down. You don't want to swing your arms all the way back here. You want to keep a slight bend through the elbow the whole time just to ensure that you're engaging the bicep the whole time. Time over tension for those muscles is how we're going to get them to grow. Roll those shoulder blades back and down. Four, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do 1 hammer curl, lower down, 1 bicep curl. Just adding on a little bit more. Ten more seconds, you've got it. Keep that bicep activation. 3, 2, 1. Just give me a bicep curl now. Lift and lower. Keeping even tension. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lift all the way up here. We're going to turn those palms to face the floor. And we're just going to do a front raise. Lift and lower. And we'll add on to this front raise in a little bit. Just make sure, feeling it in your shoulders. Scapula are pulling back and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, One more. This next one gets heavy, so I'm going to drop the weight. However, we're just going to add on, do that front raise, give me a shoulder fly, and come back through center. Don't underestimate the shoulder flies. They will sneak up on you. But just keep it slow. Low intensity. Use that breath. Paying attention to how your muscles are feeling. Is that core still braced? Are you tucking your tailbone? For 5, 4, 3, 2. The last one, we're just gonna hit those shoulder flies. Arms stay elevated the whole time. You're here for 6, 5, squeeze the back, 4, 3, 2, last one, you've got it. Go ahead and lower down. Just hit those lat raises. We're really getting those shoulders today. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 6 more, you've got it. 5, 4, 3, keeping that micro bend through the elbows. 2, last one, hold that lift and give me some champagne pours again. You've got it. 3, 2, last one, and lower those arms. Shake them out, give them a nice break, whatever you need to do to feel good right now. Ending with a last little burner, we're gonna come into that tabletop position. Whatever weight you'd like here, kind of hitting a bent over row series. We're gonna stack in that 4-point position. Hips are gonna be stacked over our knees. Shoulders are gonna be planted over our hands here. We're gonna brace that core. Make sure you have a straight line through your back as much as you can. Tuck that tailbone up and underneath. And when you're ready, we're gonna pull through that lat muscle, a little bit under your armpit. Left elbow's gonna come back. You're gonna squeeze through your back and lower back down, alternating over to the other side, pulling through the right side of your lat and lower back down. Slow and in control, squeezing that muscle, using your core, and deep breathing. For 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. We're gonna go back to that first side and just add in a little tricep extension. Row and tricep extension. Send that pinky to the ceiling and come back down. Same thing for the right side, keeping it even. And lower. Really working the backs of those arms. Trying to have control through every movement you make. So if I were to say pause at any point in time, you'd be able to immediately stay still. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, last one. Let's go back over to that first side, and we're just gonna do a left arm tricep extension. So we're not fully bringing that elbow back to 90. We wanna keep that tension through our tricep the whole time, and we're just kicking that arm back. You've got it. You need 8, 7, Trying to lift that pinky a little bit higher to the ceiling if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pulse it out. We're just kicking that arm back. Static pulse. Left tricep stays active the whole time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking it all the way to the right side. We are almost done today, guys. A little bit of a stretch after this. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, pulse it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and set those weights to the side. You do not need them anymore. We have officially made it through. So give yourself a pat on the back. We're going to come through with some nice stretches now. Still staying in that tabletop position. We'll take it to the left side first. Just reach through those fingertips. Expand through the chest. Finding some length. And exhale, thread that arm all the way through. Option to pick up that right arm and wrap it all the way around your back, sending it into your back pocket. If you want to deepen that stretch a little bit more. If you're not flexible enough yet, that's completely okay. We will get there. Just do whatever feels good to you. Another deep breath in. We'll go ahead and plant that arm back down, boxing out your right elbow. Lift through your left arm, reach. And come back down. Same thing for the other side. Now go ahead and lift. Expanding through the upper body. And thread through. Feel free to stay here. Or go ahead and wrap that arm all the way over your back, sending it into your back pocket. Whatever feels good for your comfort level here. Another deep breath. We'll go ahead and bring that arm back down, boxing out your left elbow and reaching up again one last time. Coming back down. Let's send those hips back, finding a nice child's pose. Walking our arms all the way up the mat. Getting a little bit of a stretch here. Feel free to walk those arms all the way over to the left. We're going to go ahead and stack our right palm all the way on top of the left hand. And try sinking a little bit further through the right shoulder. Deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting the body know it's okay to relax. When you're ready, we'll come back to center and walk all the way over to the right. Again, slowly sinking that left shoulder closer to the floor if you can. Length through the left side of your body. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. Go ahead and lift all the way up into that kneeling position. Just reach, arms up and overhead. Interlace those fingertips. Palms press up. Feel free to take some little side bends here. Chest stays lifted. Coming back through center. Go ahead and relax. Roll those wrists all the way down. We're going to take the right arm, wrap it all the way over our chest, pulling the shoulder away from our ear. Your wrists are a little sore. Feel free to roll out the wrists as well. Go ahead and do the same thing for the left side now. Again, pulling that shoulder away from the ear. Go ahead and let go. We're going to interlace our palms behind our back. Go ahead and just lift the chest up. Option to roll out the neck here. Coming back through center. We're going to bend our right arm and bring those palms to sit directly on our hip. We're just going to lower our ear over to the left side. Feeling a nice stretch through the right shoulder and the right side of your neck. Coming back through center. Go ahead and bend that left arm now. Stack those palms on your hips. And take your right ear to your right shoulder. Coming back down, go ahead and unhook your hands. We're going to find a seated position now. Feel free to cross your legs or leave them extended in front of you. Go ahead and send your left arm all the way to the left. Bring your right arm up and overhead. Reach. Chest is going to stay lifted to the ceiling for now. As you slowly start to adjust to the stretch, option to drop all the way down onto that forearm. Another deep breath. Go ahead and drop your chest to the floor, reaching through those right fingertips. When you're ready, we'll windmill all the way over to the other side. Left arm comes up and overhead. Chest stays lifted. See if you can lift through the shoulder a little bit more. Reach through the fingertips. When you're ready, we'll drop that chest down to the floor. One more deep breath in. We'll come all the way back to center, gently rolling all the way down onto our back for one last stretch here. On both sides, we'll take our right leg, hook it all the way up and over the left, grabbing onto either our left leg or left shin, then just rock side to side. Taking another deep breath in, go ahead and send your arms to either side of your body, gently letting your hips drop all the way to the left. Feel a nice twist through the spine, through the hips. Coming back to center, we're going to unhook that right leg from our left, doing the same thing for the left side now, lifting it up and hooking it over the right. Feel free to stay here if this stretch feels good enough for you, or you can always grab onto that right leg and gently pulling it a little bit closer to your chest. Feel free to rock side to side. Take another deep breath. We'll send our hands to either side of our body again and just gently drop those hips over to the right. Let's go ahead and come back to center. Unhook your left leg from your right. Feel free to stay and stretch if that feels good to you. Although that is all I have planned for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the first class of this session. Other than that, I look forward to seeing everybody again on Thursday. What I'm doing,